Hey everyone, my name is Nathan Payne. Welcome to another episode of Blu Ocean Crypto. Today we're going to do a deep dive into the user interface in Mavia's beta. So we're going to poke around, take a look at it. First thing I'm going to tell you, if you've seen any of the other videos I've posted so far, it is so clean. It's probably one of my favorite aspects of the game so far. So let's jump right in and see what we can figure out. So firstly, we're looking at kind of my main base here. This is the rushed one, the HQ4 that I'm working on. So on the top right, we've got our gold and our oil listed. Underneath that, you can see there's a shield with 3 hours, 53 minutes. 0 out of 2 of the engineers, meaning they're both busy building right now. Then there's the infamous ruby. And then actually there's another one called sapphire. And of course, you know, it won't let me buy sapphire. Let me buy sapphire. I have my credit card ready. But if I tap on this, if I tap on the gold, it actually shows gold storage, max capacity, the 90,000. That's based off my storages, how much I have, what my current production is of my collectors. I can do the same thing over here for oil. Now, if I tap the profile picture, you know, it brings it right to the profile. So there's a couple unique things here. So like I mentioned before in that first kind of overview, you know, you can change your name once, but then afterwards it does cost, you know, very similar to Clash in that regards. But you can also upload your own custom avatar. I think this is real cool. This is a real nice touch, you know, to customize your profile. You can use any of the default avatars as well. You can kind of see I've uploaded mine. It's like a dark black hooded guy for the Blu Ocean mascot. It talks about alliance name, role, an ID number. So obviously the alliances are going to get IDs associated with them. There's clan invites. It shows donated troops, received troops. Those are grayed out. They're not available right now. But really cool to kind of get a glimpse of that. Then on the right hand side, you can see I'm ranked silver. I've got 440 trophies. My all-time best is 483. And then War Stars 1 is 487. I've got 175 attacks under my belt and 6 defenses. Yes, I've been playing this non-stop in case anyone's wondering. That's why the attacks are so high. So this is just a nice clean profile page, right? Understanding how all of these work and what they mean is really important. Next thing is going to your base. Like I said before, this is my favorite part of the UI. I love this. It gives me a full snapshot of my base. Top left, it shows HQ4. I can tap on that to get more information about it, see what the hit points is. Underneath, I can see where my heroes will go and pets, which is also amazing to see that pets are going to be in here. Then under the resources, it shows me how many I have, 56,000 out of 90,000, oil, 5,100 out of 37,000, sapphire and ruby, kind of similar to up at the top. But if I tap that would, I assume, bring me to where I could purchase it once that's available in the game. Then we've got a shield. We can see 3 hours and 50 minutes. We can kind of just notice it tick down. It shows that my engineers are both busy. So obviously if they weren't one available, I would notice right away that there's one I need to put to work. Down underneath, it shows the troops. We can see we've got 60 out of 60 warriors. Like I mentioned, I'm just doing resource farming with cheap troops. But let's go through all of this because I love this. So you kind of got a glimpse, so to speak, of the troops here, right? We can see warrior. It shows favorite target, damage type single, target ground, unit size, damage per second, and hit points. It's kind of similar for all of them when I go through. You know, obviously there's different priorities. Like if we look here, the Vikings' favorite target is resources. You know, Blaze is none, so that means they'll target everything. Brutes will target defenses. Markswoman will target everything. Helicopter is everything. Same with the helicopter. Boom cart is walls. We know that. Flying whales, I can't wait to make these. It's like balloons in Clash of Clans, are defenses. And then favorite target, none for them. But if I open this up, it gives us a little bit more information. Because if you see back here, you've only got 4 categories. You've got favorite, damage type, target, unit size. In here, we get speed. So this is also something that's really important to know. Now, of course, speed is probably factored into the damage per second calculation, but it can be important to understand that. How slow or quick does a unit actually attack, especially if you're trying to take out a hero or a high-level defense. You know, some of those factors are really going to matter. So same thing, let's take a look at the Marine. We can see his speed is 2.4. And I won't go through all of these because I'll do a deep dive into all the troops as a separate video, but I really wanted to take our time going through the UI so you guys can get a sense of what this is like. So we've got our headquarters here. Engineer hut, you can show it just really shows the hit points because there isn't the same kind of information like with troops, right? Gives us a description. Now the hit points are something that a lot of people might overlook. Not me. The hit points will help me understand for trash buildings how I want to position them. If some of these trash buildings, like an aircraft factory would be considered a trash building when you're being attacked because it doesn't do anything defensively, but obviously if it has more hit points than another trash building like a barracks, I might want to use this to slow down an attack. So pay attention to that. It means more than you think. Also, we could take a look at oil rigs. It shows the capacity there. Same with gold collectors, gold storage, rally points, total unit capacity, the hit points. There's a hero pedestal, oil storage turret, sniper tower. Now, when we get to the defenses, it does have more statistics, right? It's got damage type, range, target, hybrid damage. The hybrid damage type is really interesting. I want to learn a little bit more about that. But for example, when we go into Modar, you can see here the hybrid damage type is area, just like damage type is area. So I'm still curious about that. I'm going to have to big brain it a little bit and figure out some of the nuances and the differences there. We've also got the flamethrower. I can't wait for this. This is going to be insane. Anti-air missiles, super important for taking out those flying whales. Walls, my favorite structure or unit in the entire game. Very underrated, very important. We got a rocket tower. And we can see here, hybrid damage type again is area, same with the other one. Ice tower, laboratory, and then Mira. But just look how clean this user interface is. You've got this nice base. I can either scroll or tap, right? Having that just adds, it's kind of like how you interact with social media, right? You're used to scrolling, be able to go through, you have that kind of nice experience. Then the settings. So there's a lot more here than I expected. So first off is the languages. There's quite a few different languages being supported. Of course, they're working on more, I'm sure, or at least these are the ones that they're going to make sure are covered for launch. You have your user ID number. I'm going to block this out for the sake of the video. I don't think it matters, but just in case, you can copy it. Maybe you need to send it to Mavia for some reason. Maybe you're going to win some event. This is how they'll make sure it gets sent to the right base. You know, it's kind of cool that you have the unique user ID. Then there's the gameplay stuff. So we've got screen shake during attack, show zoom animation while matchmaking, idle troop animation on home base, idle building animation on home base, and phone vibrations. Now, not all of these are active during the beta right now, so you can play around with them, see if any work, some don't. But I'm sure all of these, obviously, since they're in the game, are going to be worked on and released as we get down the road. Of course, phone vibration, notorious for draining battery. So if you're on older devices, that might be something you want to turn off. But if you've got that sucker plugged in and you don't care about battery, you know, have at her. I'm making sure everything's on, especially from a competitive perspective. I want to take every little advantage that I can. You've also got your audio. Maybe you want to turn the music down, play your Spotify. You know, that's something I used to do with Clash a lot, but I find that the sound effects have to stay on, at least in my opinion, to give me that kind of audio awareness of what's going on in a battle. I might be watching one thing, but I can hear some other things happening in another place in the battle. If I don't have that sound, obviously I'm going to lose that awareness. Then there's the graphics quality. This is really interesting. So you can go from low, medium, and high. There is subtle differences. It is noticeable, but not gigantic leaps. Now, like I mentioned before, we do know that this is scaled down currently 1/3, 1/5 of what's possible. There's also a lot of effects that still aren't in the game. I mean, I would take the game on low settings. Like, honestly, low settings, good to go. It's still, you know, probably one of the best graphics games in Web3 today. Then there's notifications. These are going to be really important. I know these are not enabled right now, but maybe within the next week or as they start rolling more people in, this is something to work on. You know, base attack, troop finish training, alliance war started, construction finish, shield ending soon, resource ready to collect. Obviously, I'm going to want all those on. Right? Those are all important notifications to get so you can stay on top of your base. But it's also nice that you can really customize it. Maybe you only care about the constructions finished for now. So the fact that they have this here, I really like. And then of course, there's all kinds of legal stuff down here. You've got user agreement, privacy policy, help and support. There's information on anonymous data collection, legal credits, and then delete account, but we're just gonna skip past that because that's a scary button. I do wanna test it and kind of see what happens. Do I have to type delete in? But right now I'm not gonna bother testing with it because obviously I've been playing a lot on these accounts, and I have no desire to delete it. But just for the sake of testing and helping the team out, I am going to try that probably at some point. So there's a lot in the settings that can be, edited right now. That's some of the main things for the UI. Now there's one other area that's worth mentioning for the UI, and it's the Armory. So when we open up the Armory, we can see on the left-hand side, there's buildings and resources available to select. So with buildings, we'll start on defenses. Firstly, it's going to show you the things that you can build currently that maybe you haven't yet. But what I really like is when I hit details, look how it blows the screen up. Looks so pretty. Tells me it's going to take 4 hours to build. So when I first started, 15,000 gold down at the bottom. It has a little description of it. It talks about damage per second, hit points. It has all the information I need right here. Then if I were to scroll along, it's going to show me like flamethrower, for example, cannot build, right? Obviously, I'm not the high enough HQ level to be able to accommodate that. Shows me 2 out of 2 sniper towers because I already have those. 2 out of 2 turrets, 75 out of 75 walls. So you can kind of see what's to come, what you already have, and what you need to still build. However, we've got resources, which is another tab. It shows the gold collectors, the all rigs, the storages, right? So obviously if I could build more, it will show me them here, right? If I bring it up, it kind of shows the capacity, the hit points, how it only takes 10 seconds when you initially build it. I love that when you hit it, it really opens up in this nice clean screen. Then there's Army. So you can see here, I still have the aircraft factory and the vehicle factory to build. I've got 2 rally points. I have a hero pedestal, the laboratory, there's the barracks. Let's bring up the details there. Right, it just looks so clean. Then there's resources, right? So it's interesting, with the beta in this first wave, we did start with 50 sapphire. So right away, we kind of figured out, hey, let's just buy some gold so we can get to HQ level 2. But this is obviously where you're going to be able to spend to buy resources. So you can see, I tried tapping on everyone, obviously, just to see if I got lucky. Didn't work. Do it for everyone over here. Doesn't work. Still worth trying. And then there's the sapphire coming soon. So really curious to hear about that. Well, that's pretty much it for the UI. We just went through absolutely every menu, everything that's available currently in the beta, and I'm sure they're going to be working continuously to add more in. I hope you guys found that insightful. Now you're ready you have the lay of the land of the user interface for Mavia. So once you get in, you'll be one step ahead. As always, make sure you're subscribed to the channel if you haven't already for all the great Mavia content we have coming out on a consistent basis. It's our primary focus here on the channel. And of course, smash that like button so we can get this great content out to everyone else so that they can see this amazing AAA Web3 game. Until next time, everyone, cheers.